shoulders collide in the main event. An English flamethrower, hell-bent on reminding everyone he's the most dangerous force in the division. Takes on a fast-emerging bludgeoning force who's won 8 of 9 fights. Also hell-bent on making sure you remember his name.
Leon fights me, he's gonna realize that he's in a real fight. If he thinks this is just a warm-up fight, he's been out for a while, he's in for a rude awakening.
But first, a loaded preliminary card launches the show on ESPN+. It's a sizzling strawweight rematch in the featured bout. Angela Hill's electric striking and non-stop pressure have become one of the most potent offensive attacks at 115 pounds, leading her to a victory over Ashley Yoder nearly 5 years ago. But the Spider Monkey possesses elite jiu-jitsu and wrestling skill, scoring 3 takedowns on Hill in their first fight, and is ready to steamroll Overkill this time around. And it's a classic striker versus grappler duel at 135 pounds. Few fighters can boast the jiu-jitsu credentials that Ronnie Yahya has earned. A multi-time world champion and owner of 20 submissions is not someone to test on the ground. But Ray Rodriguez is game. A black belt in his own right, who has dispatched elite grapplers with force in the past. Plus, it's the return of featherweight finisher Charles Air Jourdain. The Canadian striker has never needed the judges in his 10 professional wins. The UFC Apex is open for business once again. The UFC Fight Night prelims on ESPN Plus start right now. UFC. Las Vegas stays busy, and tonight at the Apex, the highly anticipated return of Great Britain's next best hope for a UFC champion, but also the arrival of a surging contender on his biggest stage. Live inside the UFC Apex, here in Las Vegas, you're watching the prelims for UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Muhammad on ESPN+. UFC Fight Night is presented by the U.S. Army. Closed captioning is available for tonight's telecast, and you can also watch it in Spanish on ESPN+. And with that, a very good afternoon to you from Las Vegas and Octagon side. Happy you're with us. I'm Brendan Fitzgerald. Happy to be with the former two-division champion Daniel Cormier and the UFC Hall of Famer, former middleweight champion Michael the Count Bisping. These guys know how to have fun. They're razzing me early. Guys, let's get ready for some good fights.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic fight. And normally, when you come up with what we had last weekend, you don't know what's going to come next. But this fight card is one of those fight cards that are guaranteed to deliver, because Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad is a fantastic matchup. And boy, I can't wait.
It is so great to see Leon Edwards back inside the office. About 600 days, but it's not going to be easy. He's got a very, very tough fight. But of course, before that, we've got stacked prelims. Angela Hill rematching Ashley Yoder once again. As usual, top to bottom, fantastic fight.
A lot of fun fights on this card. Let's take a look at the main card coming up later tonight. We're wall-to-wall on ESPN Plus tonight. And as mentioned in that main event, number 3 versus number 13 as Leon Edwards makes his return against Bilal Muhammad. Ranked light heavyweight contenders, Misha Serkinov, first fight since September of 2019 for the Canadian. He takes on Ryan Superman Spann and Dan Ige, putting the number 9 on the line against the surging Canadian Gavin Tucker. But let's circle back to that main event. Leon Edwards, DC, a lot of people want to see what he does in the return. Got the big stage tonight.
It's been a while since we saw Rocky fight, but he has beaten some of the best welterweights in the world on this 8-fight win streak, the second longest win streak in welterweight history. Now, the last time we saw Leon lose was to the champion Carl Usman, and he struggled with the wrestling. But if you have seen him fight over the course of this win streak, you know that he has improved dramatically. He will get tested in that area tonight against Bilal Muhammad.
How about on the other side? Bilal Muhammad was a winner here at the Apex just last month. Quick turn, big opportunity for a fighter on a 4-fight win streak.
Yeah, listen, Bilal Muhammad's coming into this one fired up. He believes that this truly is his destiny to be the champion of the world. But of course, he's got to go through Leon Edwards. Now, he has in some ways the perfect style. He crushes his opponent. He crowds for the case of the Oscars. and he fights with a relentless pace, and of course, always comes for the takedown and a master of the rear naked choke. It's an excellent clash of styles.
Here are the prelims coming up right now on ESPN Plus. Angela Hill getting back to action as she takes on Ashley Yoder. They were supposed to fight a few weeks ago. It's a rematch. It'll be our featured prelim tonight. And a big night for Canada on the main card. Also on the prelims is Charles Jourdain brings his high wire act and highlight reel against Argentina's Marcelo Rojo. The night starts with a couple of welterweight bangers. So with that, we don't need to wait for the great action to begin. Getting that first UFC win was a moment Matthew Semmelsberger and Jason Witt won't soon forget. But these welterweights are chasing much more, beginning with tonight's bout as they look to take the next step.
Making a positive first impression was the main goal for Matthew Semmelsberger in his Octagon debut last August. And he did just that in extending his winning streak to 4 with a win over Carlton Minus. Tonight, his UFC journey continues when he battles Jason Witt. After putting in years on the regional circuit fighting any and all challengers, Witt also made it to the big show last year, and in October got the win he was waiting for when he submitted Cole Williams, setting up what he expects to be a big year in 2021. Coming up next, Matthew Semi the Jedi Semmelsberger takes on Jason the Vanilla Gorilla Witt.
Representing Glory MMA and Fitness with James Krause in his corner. Third UFC appearance for Jason Witt, who had a big one in his last time out, DC. Expects to put his experience to work. This is 25th pro fight for the fighter out of Kansas City.
Yeah, he's been fighting for a long time. And last fight, I felt like we saw what Jason Witt truly is all about. He's a guy that wants to take it out. He wants to control and dominate you. And he told Submission Radio that he sees this fight going a lot like the last fight went. He feels like he'll get a takedown early, be able to control. As they get into the second round, he thinks he can go find a TKO or a submission. But this is what Jason Witt does, Mike. He wants to grind you out.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, the first time we saw him, he took the fight on 2 days' notice. So fair to say, he did it for his best foot forward. But last time out against Cole Williams, talk about getting the job done. Talk about a perfect performance. Cole Williams is a very, very good wrestler. He went out there, beat him at his own game, took him down multiple times, pounded him very, very aggressively, and took home a head and arm choke to get the finish. It was a textbook performance, and no doubt we're going to repeat that tonight.
And it was almost good to see the submission, right? Because he was beating on Williams so severely from the top position that when he got to the arm triangle, it was almost a gratifying feeling that the fight was over.
Yeah, natural finish for the grappler and experienced Jason Witt, who takes on Matthew Semmelsberger. Well, the nickname here is Semi the Jedi, and it's a kind of a double meaning. Semi because he hits like a truck. Last name Semmelsberger, but he has that nerd kind of Jedi Star Wars thing going on as well. Enter the former Marist College football player, Michael Bisping. This guy dropped out of college to pursue MMA with just like 10 credits in 1 semester left. He's chased the dream all the way to the UFC and wants to take the next step.
I am very ashamed of you, Brendan, for not saying that you thought it was because he would use the force. I'm going to say, listen, this is his second time inside the octagon. First time was against Carlton Minus, had a good showing there, but didn't get the finish. Coming into this fight, that's really what he's focusing on. Of course, in this training camp, he's worked on a lot of grappling, because as we just said, Jason Witt, very, very good wrestler, DC. So, all this camp, he's got the striking. He has very, very powerful hands, but if he gets taken down, that doesn't matter. So, the majority of this camp, as I say, he's been working that good old-fashioned takedown defense.
Yeah, but for Semmelsberger, this is a guy that wrestled himself, right? He wrestled as a youth, wrestled in high school, took a break, but came back and wrestled and had success. Now, when you quit school with 10 credits left, it can be a very lonely time. He said by no means was he ever alone in his journey after quitting school.
Ready to get the night started from Las Vegas? Here's the tale of the tape. Jason Witt, 6 years older than his challenger, Matthew Semmelsberger. Semmelsberger with a big size advantage in this one, standing 3 inches taller at 6'1", and with a 5-inch reach advantage. Setting the table tonight is Joe Martinez.
here we go, ladies and gentlemen, live from the UFC Apex here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Muhammad. And we are set to go with 3 rounds of action this scheduled in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing to first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. Weighing in officially 171 pounds in 24 professional fights. His record stands at 18 victories with 6 defeats. Fighting out of Kansas City, Missouri, here is Jason Vanilla Gorilla Win! And across the octagon, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's a freestyle fighter standing 6 feet 1 inch tall. Weighing in officially 169.5 pounds in 9 professional fights. His record, 7 victories with 2 defeats. Fighting out of Frederick, Maryland, here is Matthew Semi, the Jedi Simmelsberger. And your referee in charge of the action is Chris Tognoni.
Chris Tognoni gets the night started as the 3rd man in. Brooklyn is with us here at the UFC Apex as we are ready for another night of fights.
Ready, sir. Ready? Fight.
Jason Witt in the gray, Matthew Semmelsberger in the black. Bit of a coin flip odds-wise. Semmelsberger minus 120 is the small favorite. Jason Witt the even money underdog.
Yes, what?
Oh, that's it! Boom! 15 seconds in! And Semi the Jedi is like a truck for the knockout!
Wow.
Wow.
That's all we're saying.
Last fight, Jason Witt got a takedown very early. This time he tried to strike, and boy, did he pay for it. He threw 3 leg kicks, Mike. Back to back, he threw the leg kick from the convention.
Let's take a
Outside, look, it's off another leg kick. Just a blind leg kick. Boom.
He was too close.
Yes,
He was too
right in
close to
range,
throw
and
the
he
leg
didn't set
kick.
it up. He didn't set that up. He just threw a kick. Blind kick, in range. Simmelsberger responds and lands a beautiful right hand that shuts the lights out. That was crazy.
I mean, that's how you do it. Second fight in the UFC, he said he wanted a finish. That was a big motivation
Yes.
for coming into this one. And I'll tell you what, they don't get much better than that. That was so fast, so quick. Let's take a look one more time. Throws the kick. Boom!
Oh,
Perfect. Didn't even wind it up, just threw it out there, puts
Threw
it
it out.
down, puts him to sleep.
he talked about being unhappy in his debut by not getting the finish. Boy, did he get a finish.
Yeah,
Might be looking at some extra
that performance. What a way to start the night. We'll hear from Matthew Semmelsberger when we come back. Coming up next, red hot welterweights lock up in our main event. UK standout Leon Rocky Edwards faces Bilal, remember the name Muhammad. Stay with us all night long here on ESPN Plus for the main card at 8 Eastern. Well, less than 20 seconds for Matthew Semmelsberger to get it done. Here's Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at the official time. 16 seconds, round number 1. We have your winner by KO, Matthew Semi, the Jedi Simmelsberger.
How about that for Matthew Semmelsberger, who told us this week a win was nice in his UFC debut, but he was not satisfied with how it went. He wanted DC to show off a little more of the grappling, show the skill building that he's been doing in the last 6 months. Didn't need it. One and done.
Not at all. I mean, was able to find his shot, and it only took one. You know, the guy speaks to his potential and his power, and boy, was that on full display tonight as he finishes Jason.